Hello again, racing fans. Good to have you along as we throw ahead to Wednesday racing in KZN. Racing on Heritage Day in SA. Guarantee there's going to be lots of celebrating around Briarfires across the country, as National Heritage more recently has also been christened National Braai Day. But for us, we're more interested in what's happening on the national racing calendar. Wednesday the 24th tells me racing in KZN in Durban. We're racing at Hollywoodbets Greyville. Good to have you along on a sure thing with me, Rouvaun Smit, as we preview this 9-race program that runs at Hollywoodbets Greyville on the Poddy track, with the first race getting underway at 12 o'clock. I thought a very competitive card from the get-go. If you are going to be getting involved in the exotics, I suggest approach with caution, because there are at least 3 or 4 races where you can make a case for 4 or 5 horses in some races, and won't be surprised if any one of them were to win or even a spook to arrive. That's how competitive I thought this meeting is on Wednesday. Coupled with the fact that maybe it would be a good idea to play a bigger perm, take a smaller percentage, because I think I can only find one bank of us on this program. 12 o'clock being the off of the first of 9, it means the exotics on the tote starts in race 2. And for those who are getting involved in the free Hollywoodbet Punter Challenge, those have to be on 5 minutes prior to the advertised starting time of the opener, put through your selections and play the bet slip to put you in line to win that R1 million jackpot prize on offer in the Hollywoodbet Punter Challenge on South African race meetings. First race off 12 o'clock. We're off to a very tricky start. 8 runners will line up and face the starter for this maiden plate at the 1,000 metre mark. And listen to this betting. 1.33 to 1, number 5, Painetti. 2.86 to 1, number 4, Senor Resferio. 3 Grand Force at 3.57 to 1. 6 Captain Frank at 4.55 to 1. So what do we do? Where do we go? Do we go with the favourite, where Rachel Vinegar takes the 1.5 kilos off the back of number 5, Painetti? This happens to be Dennis Bosch's only run on the day. Only thing that is swaying me away from this horse is the fact that it comes back from a 14-week break and may just be in need of the outing. So let's look for a bit of value. Maybe 4, Senor Resferio. Now this horse happens to be renewing rivalry 2 with number 3, Grand Force. And Grand Force happens to be 4 kilos better off at the weights with number 4, Senor Resferio, for a 2.3 length beating. That to me is enough to turn the tables, coupled with the fact that Grand Force has finished 3rd in his only attempt over the course and distance. Grand Force is also the kind of horse that likes to jump and go, show toe from the get-go, will cross, get to the front, and be up there with the pace all the way to the wire and say, come and catch me if you can. So I'm going 3 Grand Force to beat number 4, Senor Resferio, 5 Painetti, 6 Captain Frank. In the second race, the jumps at 12:30, there is a scratching. Out of race 2, you can take number 3, Magical Spring. 9 runners will line up for race 2, the opening leg of the bipot. This race over 1,200 metres, and there's precious little to choose between the top 2 in the market. Number 8, Sovereign Command, is at 1.25 to 1. Number 4, Ziphos, at 1.82 to 1. Now Ziphos happens to be 1 kilo better off at the weights with number 8, Sovereign Command, and that was for a 0.95 length beating last time out. I'm, however, in the camp of number 8, Sovereign Command. This horse comes into this race having recorded seconds in back-to-back races over the course and distance. I also thought this horse was very unlucky not to have his nose in front when they hit the wire, because he was hanging in the closing stages, and that certainly cost him a far closer position than second. I also do see that this horse does have the nasty habit of hanging in the closing stages, but it's encouraging to see that Sean Veal retains the ride, and he will give him all the necessary assistance from the saddle, and I do think with him doing his best work late, will be involved in the shake-up. So I'm going 8 Sovereign Command to beat number 4 Ziphos, 2 Hamilton Hero, 6 Quincy Town. Third race is an open maiden, fillies and mares, field and more, 10 runners over 1,400 metres. Wide open affair. Here you could make a case for at least 4 of them, those 4 being 9, Love the USA, from 2.5 to 1 into 2 to 1. 3.03 to 1, number 1, Capricious Miss. 3, Panon Nom at 3.33. 10, Ada Lovelace, 3.57 to 1. Where do we go? What do we do? If you put all 4 in, you probably will get through at least 1, maybe 2 double up. Who knows, maybe even treble up in the opening leg of the place accumulator. You certainly don't want to go out. If you were to press me for an outright selection, then I'm going to side with 1, Capricious Miss. This has showed massive improvement last time out, when second, beaten just over a length and a half by the winner. Yes, that was under a lightweight of 52 kilograms. Lost a length, but was staying on nicely at the business end of affairs. Would have strengthened up in the time that it has been off the track, and I do think Attendewe Gludwa will give us a good run for our money, because from pole position, this horse will have the run of the race. So, I'm going 1, Capricious Miss, ahead of 8, Pananom. For third, I'm going 10, Ada Lovelace, and 9, Love the USA. Fourth race is an open maiden. 10 runners to line up at the 1600. Here we have an odds-on favourite, number 5, Next of Kin, at 0.83 to 1 in the Antipose market, from the training partnership of Mike and Matthew de Kock. Informed Sean Veal on board. The only thing that is sort of swaying me in a different direction is the 61.5 kilos that Next of Kin carries. Hence the reason I'm going for the horse that's got the form coming into the race, and that's number 10, Take Your Best Shot. Has reeled in a hat-trick of seconds in its last 3 start. Raced up handy over the course and distance. Tried hard but found one just too good. That was in the form of Got to Go Eddie. Marco van Rensburg is back on board. Back over 1600 metres. Will no doubt jump and go. Be up there in the vanguard from the get-go, and could be rewarded for consistency in a race of this nature. So I'm going 10, Take Your Best Shot to win it, ahead of number 5, Next of Kin, 8, Vinnie's Dream, and 3, Black Platina. Race number 5 is leg 1 of Jackpot 1. It's a C Stakes, merit rated 83 and below. 10 runners to line up at the 1600 metre mark. And if there is a horse that I'm looking to possibly bank on this card, it's this one, number 3, Al Ravian. This one from my good friend Mr. Duncan Hall's yard. Ideally course and distance suited, in fact. For 2 runs has had a win and a second already under the belt. Brings solid form lines into this race. Set the pace over 1750 last time out. Stayed on to finish third on that occasion. But more importantly, what does my good friend Mr. Hall say in front of the winning form? He's racing consistently and from a neat draw. Can give a good account of himself, and coupled with the fact that this happens to be Mr. Hall's only runner on the day. So why not? I think he can go home with a 100% strike rate on Wednesday. 3, Al Ravian is the first race selection to beat number 1, Run to Rio. Third, number 4, King's Island. And fourth, number 7, The Gliding Fish. Race 6, leg 1, Jackpot 2. C Stakes for the apprentices. Merit rated 83 and below. 11 runners will line up at the 2,000 metre mark. Wide open affair as far as this race is concerned. 2 Spectacular, 3 The Wolf, both at 4 to 1. 4.55 to 1, number 5, Star of the Future. 5 to 1, number 8, King Bavarian. 6.25 to 1, number 9, Rodriguez. 8.33 to 1 and upwards the others. You can see they priced up very much on top of each other. It's 4 to 1 the field, and a case where you need to probably put all 5 of them in. Hope you've picked the right 5, because anything can possibly even come and spook you in this race. If I'm going to be pressed for an outright selection, I'm going to go with number 2, Spectacular. This one from the stable of Glenn Cotson. Stayed on nicely, went fourth over the course and distance last time out. Jumped in and was staying on when finishing just under 2.5 lengths behind the winner. Now, if one looks at that last race's form line, this horse finished fourth, 2.35 lengths behind 5 Star of the Future, with whom he renews rivalry. He's now 5 kilos better off at the weights, and to me, for a 2.35 length beating, is enough to turn the tables. He's also got decent form coming into this race. I give him a big chance of winning it, with 4 kilo claiming Apprentice Design Low on board. So 2 Spectacular is the selection, race 6, ahead of 5 Star of the Future, 3 The Wolf, and 9 Rodriguez. Race 8, C Stakes, merit rated 83 and below. 9 runners to line up at the 1200 metre mark. Not an easy race this either. Here number 5, Super Fast, is at 2.5 to 1. Comes into this race, having run second in its last 4 starts, does set the pace but always tend to find one too good on the day. Next best is number 3, Preemptive Strike. Also comes into this race. Course and distance specialist. Must have a very good chance. Sean Veal for Stuart Ferry. 3, Canal Skater, Dean Kanemayer, Craig Zaki. That combination can never be ignored. That one's a 3.57 to 1, but I like Rachel Veneker on number 8, Intrepid. She takes the 1.5 kilos off the back. I do think that if one takes her current form into account, that was a good last run when finishing just under 2.5 lengths behind the winner, but it's the penultimate run. We're finishing half a length behind Katavar that really caught the attention. She ran on very strongly in the closing stages. She was beaten half a length at the line. Here she does drop back in class. She does have a wide gate of 8 to contend with, but I do think with a bit of luck in running, she'll come from off the pace. She'll be kicking on stoutly in the closing stages, and she could be picking them off one by one in the run to the wire and be involved in the fight down to the finish. So I'm going each way, number 8, Intrepid, to beat number 5, Superfast. 3, Preemptive Strike, 4, Winter Waves. Penultimate race on the card is race number 8. Race 8 being a B Stakes, merit rated 101 and below. 10 runners to line up at the 1200 metre mark. Another one of those very, very wide open races. In fact, it doesn't get any easier as we go into the penultimate, not to even mention the last race on the card. 3.57 each of 2, 3 Mojo Man, 6 Princess Hannah, both at 3.57 to 1, 2 Rainbow Reward at 4 to 1, 5 to 1 number 1 Captain Christie, and 8.33 to 1, and upwards the others. 3 Mojo Man really tried hard last time out, when second behind Connery, 6 Princess Hannah, and 3 Mojo Man. They pretty much meet on the same weight terms, so you pretty much can expect the same kind of result, but I like number 2 Rainbow Reward. This horse from the stable of Kim Naidu. If you look at their penultimate run, finished third, beaten 2.70 lengths by a horse called King of Spin. Now let's find number 10 Bourbon Warrior. Penultimate run of Bourbon Warrior, finish second ahead behind King of Spin. So ahead King of Spin, that one 2.70 lengths behind King of Spin. That means that there's 2.6 lengths in it, and 2 Rainbow Reward, 4.5 kilos better off at the weights. To me, that should be enough to turn the tables. He will again be on the heels of the early speed. Loves to go up handy, does number 2 Rainbow Reward, and I do think kicking away at the right time may be hard to peg back in the run to the wire. So I'm going 2 Rainbow Reward to win it, ahead of number 6 Princess Hannah, 3 Mojo Man, 8 Quandary. Last of the day, 16:45. It's a D Stakes for the apprentices. Merit rated 69 and below. 11 runners will line up at the 1200 metre mark, and this is a wide open affair. 4 to 1 the field, 6 Yanakis, 10 Masked On, they're both at 4 to 1. 5 to 1 number 7 Lulu the Legend. Then it is 7 Katavar at 7.14 to 1, 11 United Nation at 6.25 to 1, and you can get 8.33 to 1 and upwards the others. I like number 6 Yanakis, runs in the Hollywood Racing colours from the stable of Gary Rich. This horse showed good toe from the get-go last time out. That was over this distance at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. And if one takes that last form line into account, beat a horse called Dawn Surprise, who has subsequently come out and franked that form line. Behind Dawn Surprise was a horse called The Mask, who has also subsequently come out and won. And further downfield, 10 lengths back in 10th position, was a horse called Prize Platinum. That horse has also come out and franked that form line. So we've had 3 direct winners coming out of that last line that number 6 Yanakis won. I also do think that the cheek pieces did the trick. I see they fitted again on Saturday. Yes, there is concern about 64, but I wouldn't be too concerned in a D Stakes, not even with a 4 kilo craming Appy on board. If it had been a normal jockey, I would say same story. That at 64, I do think they are still competitive, And I do think that Yanakis, whoever beats him, will take the lion's share of the prize money. So, what's the selection? 6 Yanakis to beat number 10 Marston. For third, I'm going with 8 Katavar, and fourth, number 7 Lulu the Legend. That's it for racing on Wednesday at Hollywoodbets Greyville. Trust you'll enjoy the public holiday race meeting in KZN. Till next time from me, Rouvaun, you take care. Cheers for now.